A robocall impersonating President Biden and fake explicit images of Taylor Swift. They're the latest deepfakes that raise questions about the threats of artificial intelligence. They're also the AI-generated comedy special using the late George Carlin's voice and jokes. His estate is now suing the team behind it, claiming copyright infringement. For more, let's bring in senior business and tech correspondent Jo Ling Kent. So how damaging are these deepfakes to the people involved?
Yeah, it's incredibly personal and it can be created by anyone. And that really is the problem here. And when it happens to someone who is a superstar in the echelon of Taylor Swift, for example, it also commands a lot of attention. And what we've seen here is Swifties, her legions of fans out there, are not only calling for these to be removed, but they're now calling for action. But this is something that is, unfortunately, thanks to artificial intelligence advancing so quickly, very common, not just for celebrities like Taylor Swift or Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Scarlett Johansson, but also for lots of individuals out there who have much less of a platform to fight back on these. We did reach out to Taylor Swift's representative and have not heard back yet, but this is a situation where it is a very common problem and very invasive that also happens to big-time celebrities.
I just want to take that a step forward and talk about the speed at which all of this is happening. I think I know the answer to this, but it sounds like the legislative measures are really lagging behind.
Yeah, Catherine, you bring up a good point. We do see that legal regulations have been put in place in 9 states across the country. And then as a result of what has happened here, a new bipartisan legislation that had already been introduced in the House was reintroduced on this front. But as you know, the Senate and House are not typically known for moving very quickly, especially when it comes to tech companies and social media. And they are certainly not able to move very quickly yet to what we've seen in our reporting on artificial intelligence. But these deep fakes are common, and it's not just images. This is videos, audio in the case of President Biden in New Hampshire. And so it's very, very important as a news consumer to have that news literacy to know what you might be looking at or what you might not be looking at.
If you're a celebrity or a public figure, if there's a deep fake, you've got a lot of options, a lot of platforms to counter it, right? But what about your average person if it happens to them? Are there any really legitimate steps they can take?
Yeah, you can contact the companies, and we have done so in terms of from a policy perspective. So YouTube says it has disabled a bunch of channels as a result of this Taylor Swift deepfake situation. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has said that they take down all inappropriate content that violates their standards. But in the case of Meta, some things that are manipulated do continue to live on. In fact, that's true across all social media platforms. And what they say is that they will label things that they, by their standards, call not true or manipulated if it doesn't fully violate their policies to take it down. But it is an incredibly hard thing to do. As everyone says, the internet never forgets.
And just in the final few seconds, what are some of the telltale signs or tags that will indicate that you're dealing with a deep fake?
Yeah, there was a deepfake that was circulating of former President Donald Trump. If you look closely, there were 3 legs. Last we checked, President Trump has 2. So you want to look for anything shady, anything that doesn't make sense. But sometimes it's not detectable. And I've been inside the Department of Defense where they are scanning and looking at pixelation and looking at algorithms to see if an image has been manipulated. So sometimes with this sophisticated technology, you really can't tell. And that's really the ultimate danger in it. Catherine.
Jo Ling Kent, thank you for your analysis and reporting this evening.
Thanks.